Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Chingo Gringo beer review. It's a beautiful day here in Cancun, and I would otherwise be down at the pool doing this review, but unfortunately the elevator in my condo is not working. It's out of service. And as you guys know, I am disabled, I'm a quadriplegic, I have a disability, so taking the stairs is not an option. Okay, so first and foremost, let me give a shout out to my talented wife for the Chingo Gringo artwork behind me there. And so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so today's review was a little delayed. I had some camera technical issues, no audio coming out of the camera. Or not recording or something, I'm not really sure. I got that fixed, and then the thing with the elevator was next. So anyway, we're doing the review inside today, and this beer, like I said, was going to be reviewed previously, but couldn't until today. So what am I talking about? Today's beer is Cerveza Mexicali or Mexicali. All right, and you see it says Cerveza Obscura. All right, now that is of course, this is for domestic Mexican sale, so everything's in Spanish. But in English, they do export this beer to the United States, and in English it's called Special Dark Lager. And I think, don't you agree that it's a really cool label, really nice colors on the label, and I really like their label design. Another cool thing is, I hope I can show it to you here, is their bottle cap. And let me see if I can display it a little better. Cerveza Mexicali beer. And so I thought that was a really cool design. Let me hold it like this. Yeah, that's better. Cerveza Mexicali beer. The bottle cap, if you notice, is green, red, and white. And those are the colors of the Mexican flag. And that's why they use those colors. Okay, so a little bit about the brewery real quick. I'm going to try to make this review a little shorter than the ones previously. Cut down on the time, the talk time here. Now, Cerveza Mexicali has a rich history. Going all the way back to September 15, 1923, where Mr. Miguel Gonzalez and Mr. Horacio Ochoa, they started this brewery called Mexicali Brewery, or Cerveceria Mexicali. Now, Mr. Gonzalez later left the brewery, and Mr. Ochoa took over and became sole owner until he died in 1953. The first brewmaster was Adolfo Bender, and then when he died, his son took over to preserve the standards of the brewery and also the recipes. Got to preserve those recipes, don't you? But unfortunately, this first Mexicali brewery, this brewery closed in 1973. Right? That's a tragedy when a brewery closes, and especially a brewery that produces a really good beer like this one. Now, good news though, another brewery called Cerveceria Mexicana, or Mexican Brewery, not opened. They were already running with some other beers, I believe, and they started brewing this beer. They brought back the original recipe and started brewing this beer. Now, the original beer that they started with in this line is actually a Pilsner, is lighter than today's beer and is actually a Pilsner. This is one of two new beers in the line of Cerveza Mexicali, or Mexicali, the other being a light beer. So, now, the brewmaster there at Cerveceria Mexicana is called, his name is Oswaldo Armenta, and he joined the brewery Cerveza Mexicana in 1997. Oswaldo has a technical degree in food and beverage and a BS in biochemical engineering. Wow, that sounds impressive. Now he trained with brewmasters at AB InBev and also at Coors to learn the ropes, as they say. Okay, now this brewery has a really cool slogan, and it says that their beer is a complete beer, no lime required. A little jab at Corona and Modelo. Okay, now other beers produced by this brewery are, for example, the Dia de Muertos line, or the Day of the Dead. You may have heard of this beer. Very nice craft beer produced in Mexico, as well as a couple of others. They expanded recently of this year, March 17th of this year, sales to Holland and Benelux. And they also have started canning recently. Okay, so about today's beer. Today's beer has an ABV of 5%, I believe. Let me check here. 5%, where's that puppy at? Right, you would think I would write that down before it started. No, 5.5% ABV on this beer. I do not, unfortunately, have any IBU information for this beer. I asked for it, but didn't receive specifically that information. Also, I don't have any additional information on the hops or the malts used because I guess they consider that confidential, which I understand. Okay, enough about that. Enough about all that information. Let's get started on the real important thing. That's pouring this beer up. Glug, 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 glug. Okay, so I'm gonna let you see if you guys can see this at home as it comes up. Let's see. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at the head. Beautiful head on this beer. I can already smell this beautiful aroma. Oh, wow. I mean, I know I say that, or I make that expression frequently, but in the case of this beer, it is really, really true. To be honest, I've had this beer before, and this is my first review of it. And it is an excellent beer. I really like it. It's one of my new all-time favorite beers that I like to enjoy now. When you open the beer and you get that smell, I get notes of roasted, sweet notes of roasted malt. A little bit of biscuity aroma. Also, I get, a little bit of coffee, actually. Comes from the malts as well. And I'm trying to put my finger or my nose on that other smell. It smells to me, and I noticed in the bottle there is a little bit of sediment in the bottom, and it looks kind of like the remains from unprocessed brown sugar or unrefined brown sugar here in Mexico called piloncillo. So I wonder if they put piloncillo in this beer. I wonder if that's their secret ingredient. Okay, so that's the aroma. Next, the taste. Right up front, you get a really nice balance. I mean, right at the beginning of bitterness and sweetness, perfectly balanced. I get a little bit of bitterness actually in the beginning, and then followed by a really nice sweetness in this beer, followed by a nice lingering bittersweet, I guess I could say that, in the end finishing that lingers. Really nice. Now I like my bitter beers, IPAs, ESAs, English bitters, or ESBs I should say, not ESAs. But I do like also a balanced beer, a beer that is perfectly balanced between bitterness and sweetness. And this definitely is in that category. I didn't say much, sorry, I didn't say much about the color. Now I mentioned the head, a really nice head and a really nice glass lacing, as you can see. Let me see, yeah. And it's really got good, like I said, good head retention, keeping its head very well, but beautiful color. Can you see how you can see directly through that? Excuse me, to the window behind me. I would say, just holding it to the light, perfectly clear beer with really nice carbonation level. I can see the bubbles coming up. I don't know if you can see that, but like a burnt amber color. That's the way I would describe this beer, burnt amber. Beautiful color. Back to the flavor. I don't think I can add anything to this, just to say that I think if they indeed are using the unprocessed piloncillo sugar, it gives it a wonderful flavor, a wonderful flavor. I think that's what I detect in addition to the roasted malts and the kind of chocolate, not chocolate, coffee flavors as well in there, followed by the hops, but not too much in the way of bitterness. Perfect balance in this beer. Now I'm going to give this beer a rating of, drum roll please, a rating of 8. I think this beer deserves it. It's a beautiful example of a dark lager with a spin. I believe they put piloncillo in this beer. I may be wrong. If you guys don't, correct me there at Cerveza and Mexicali. But I think you are using piloncillo in this beer. That's your secret ingredient. So wonderful beer. I give it an 8. I would recommend this beer. Give it a try if you can find it in your local stores. And that's all. So until next time, remember, drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive, guys. Trust me, I know about that. And until next time, keep pouring them up, keep drinking them down. Cheers, guys.